thing that has to do with them with God is about gold and silver. But Simeon wasn't interested in that. Right? All he was doing was, the Bible said, he waited for the consolation of Israel. He saw the desolation. He saw the judgment that came upon Israel. And he saw that they needed a Redeemer. And a Redeemer was promised. As Isaiah said, Isaiah 7 verse 14, he said a virgin would conceive and bear a son. Isaiah 9, he said, unto us a son is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. And so, he waited for that day. How about you today? Are you waiting for that consolation today? I'll tell you don't know this verse. I've been hearing it so much time from the church. Isaiah chapter 9. Why do you think I can just talk it like that? Because you think I'm just a minister, a teacher of the word. He said here, Isaiah 9. He said here, Isaiah chapter 9, he said, for unto us a son is born. Right? And verse 6. Right? And it says, his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor. Right? The Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. How much time to make songs and all these things about it? But are you waiting for that consolation of Israel? Are you waiting for that time to come when the Son will come again in glory? So, the Bible said, of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David, to order upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice forever, from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord will perform this. Are you waiting for that consolation today? That's what Moses was waiting for. He just got to see the physical. He got to deal with the spiritual. He had visions of eternity. All he had was visions of it. Right down to eternity. God gave him those visions. Then comes, but he went into the grave waiting for the consolation of Israel. My God, hallelujah. I tell you that particular part of the scripture has a meaning and to me that is intimate. How about you? Right? What are you waiting for today? Right? And these men got to the point where God spoke to them and he told them, you go up to this mountain today, you're not going to come back down. Right? They're not bawling and weeping because they're in touch with God. So Lord, whatever you say, you know best. And people are waiting for, and then they say, oh, well, when the person is dead, they have a saying God knows best. Of course God knows best, but do you really, if you would have wanted it another way? Okay? So I'm saying, and then comes Elijah. As I said to you, when the chariot came down, the chariot didn't mix them up, You know, the Bible said, there was no angel, nobody was with the chariot. It's just the chariot with the horse and the fire come down, Nobody didn't come with it. But they know which one it's supposed to pick up for the ride. What are you talking about? It's the Almighty. He knows who is going to pick up for the ride. Okay? We're talking about judgment here. I'm talking, not that Elisha was rejected, but I'm saying because his time would come, but he would go to the grave. We're saying that even in this case, the chariot knew who was going to pick up. Today, as the Bible said last week, I think I read that scripture there in 2 Timothy chapter 2. It said, nevertheless, the foundation of the Lord standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. And here he said, I said to you, this whole thing, I started with Simeon. And I'm asking it. I'm saying to you, suppose the Lord is saying to you today, you will not see death until you have seen the Lord's Christ. You have seen the consolation of Israel. Many of us today, we're saying that I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I want to keep on living till Jesus comes. But in truth and in fact, really, what is it really? Are you waiting for the consolation of Israel? Or you just don't want to die? It's because all those people who are alive when Jesus comes, who are not saved, of course they'll be alive. But they'll be in a totally different world altogether. They're in the world and the earth here, but they're cut off, as I said to you. They're still, death is still a threat to them, waiting to destroy them. And for those who are saved, death, they will say, oh death, where's thy sting? Oh grave, where's thy victory? Amen? Then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Hallelujah. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. So, they're alike. They're alike. Peter, John and James saw Moses and Elijah on the mountain. Yes, representing the righteous who will be resurrected, Moses, and those who will be alive when Jesus comes. But Simeon, his life stands out in such a way that he got to actually see the Lord's Christ, which Moses spoke of it, and I'm pretty sure Elijah spoke of it too, having heard the prophecies and things. But Simeon got the chance to see him, but he saw him in a baby form. Today, the promise to us is not to see him in a baby form, but to see him in glory. So, consider diligently. Are you waiting for the consolation of Israel today? Or you just want to be alive? I mean, I don't want that. I just want to be alive. We're alive, yes. But are you waiting for the consolation of Israel? Are you waiting for redemption? Are you waiting? There's a verse here where Peter said here, when he spoke about in 2 Peter 2, he said, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven, a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Right? He said a lot of things are going to happen here in this world, but we are looking for something. What are you looking for today? I know what I'm looking for. And me personally, I was read this story about Simeon for so many decades now, for years now. It has had a place in my heart. And when the Lord gave me this revelation last month, some weeks ago, and he said, consider Simeon. I told him, I said, you will not die, because I want you to see the Christ, the first coming of the Lord. But the thing is that Simeon will die after. But if God gave you that promise today, you're not going to die. Because when he's coming now, he's coming with salvation and with life eternal. So God gave you that promise today that you will see the consolation of Israel. Then you are really sealed into being among those who will be alive when the Lord shall come in glory. So let your life not be just about, I want to be alive, I don't want to die. Well, because that can keep you alive, because you say it in your mouth. That has nothing to do with anything. When people have died, they wanted to live, they say, oh, sometimes they died, they say, oh, he had so much to live for. What do you think they're talking about? Because he had the gold and the silver, and he had this and so forth. Yeah, he had so much to live for, but the things didn't care about him. And he can't carry it to the grave. She can't carry it to the grave. Fame and fortune perish, You know, they might still talk about you, all this thing they have in the military, or the man has died and they made him a general posthumously. I mean, come on, what is that all about? These are some of the stuff to the devil. Well, how does that help him? Or now he's promoted to a general in his grave. Right? As Job said, his sons come to honor, he knows it is not. Whatever, so what? What is it? He doesn't know anything. He's a worm, he can't see his body in the grave. And the worm doesn't care whether he's a general or is a king or whatever. He doesn't care. Right? Whatever you are in this world. But we know that when he shall appear,